Meghan Markle thought she had it all figured out. A lavish escape from royal life, a curated circle of celebrity friends, and a carefully planned getaway that was meant to rewrite the narrative. But what was supposed to be her moment of reinvention has spiraled into an international embarrassment. Fans are shocked, insiders are whispering, and the internet is exploding because Meghan just faced a cold, brutal rejection from none other than her longtime friend Serena Williams. And it all unfolded over a secretive luxury trip hosted by British aristocrat Emma Thynn. That's right, Meghan's desperate plea to be included in a private, elite girls' retreat has been publicly turned down, leaving her humiliated and scrambling for damage control. Sources close to the situation reveal that Meghan had been counting on Serena to help smooth things over with Emma Thynn after months of tension behind the scenes. But instead of offering support, Serena reportedly shut her down completely, allegedly saying, "This isn't the right space for you anymore." And with that one cold sentence, Meghan's carefully constructed plans began to crumble. What's worse? Emma Thynn, Marchioness of Bath and one of Britain's most glamorous and progressive aristocrats, had already been on edge after Meghan's previous attempt to hijack a philanthropic gala ended in quiet scandal. Add to that the rumor that Emma had extended personal invitations to Serena, Priyanka Chopra, and Amal Clooney, but not Meghan, and suddenly this story becomes about more than just a missed invitation. It becomes a tale of betrayal, shifting alliances, and a former duchess grasping at the remnants of her once powerful image. As tensions rose and list loyalties began to shift, Meghan reportedly made a last-minute call to Serena in tears, pleading for just one chance to fix things. But the response she got left her completely blindsided. What followed next was a flurry of leaked messages, cryptic Instagram captions, and a silent but deadly power play that's left Meghan out in the cold. Again, so what really happened? Between Meghan, Serena, and Emma, why did Serena turn her back? And could this be the beginning of Meghan's final fall from Hollywood royalty? Stay tuned, because the drama is just getting started, and the secrets behind this story will shock you. It all began with a string of whispers, subtle, quiet, but piercing. Meghan Markle, fresh off the heels of a lukewarm public appearance in Montecito, had been planning something grand, something bold. She was eager to show the world, once again, that she could stand on her own 2 feet, no crown, no palace, no titles necessary. What better way to rebrand herself than to be seen in the company of Britain's beloved progressive aristocrat Emma Thynn and the world's most powerful women on a discreet but glamorous private getaway? Meghan had imagined it all. Yacht photos under golden sunlight, casual beach walks with Amal Clooney, candid laughs beside Serena Williams, and long, philanthropic conversations that would conveniently find their way into vogue. But as with most things Meghan touches lately, what started as a vision of empowerment quickly spiraled into a storm of egos, bruised friendships, and one very public humiliation that fans are still trying to process. Behind closed doors, Meghan had already faced mounting challenges. Her popularity in Hollywood circles had been waning. Several big projects had quietly fizzled out. Spotify was gone, Netflix was watching, and the fashion world lukewarm at best. Meghan needed a power move, and fast. So when whispers of Emma Thynn planning an exclusive women's retreat on the Amalfi Coast began to surface among the upper elite, Meghan made her move. She reached out to Serena Williams, her longtime friend, tennis legend, and one of the most respected voices in global celebrity culture. Meghan had leaned on Serena before, during her wedding, during her exit from the royal family, during those tough early days in LA, but this time, Meghan wasn't just asking for support. She was begging for access. According to a close insider who spoke under anonymity, Meghan called Serena late one night and said, "Look, I know Emma's not thrilled with me right now, but if you go, maybe you can help smooth things over. I just want to be part of something real again, not staged, not stiff, just women lifting each other up." But what Meghan may have underestimated was just how far her reputation had shifted since her royal exit. People remember the drama with Kate, the tension with the palace, the Netflix docuseries that was more spectacle than sincerity, the rumors of control issues, diva demands, and her apparent habit of hijacking other people's events. Thynn, though known for being open-minded and inclusive, had made a quiet but firm decision: Meghan would not be on the guest list. When Serena hesitated, Meghan knew something was wrong. "You're going, right?" she asked, pressing. Serena responded with a pause, then a carefully chosen response: "I haven't decided yet. But if I do, I'm going to keep things simple. No press, no drama, just women connecting." Meghan's heart sank. That wasn't the Serena she remembered. The Serena who once fiercely defended her in interviews. The Serena who brought her daughter to Meghan's baby shower in New York. The Serena who once called Meghan one of the strongest women I know. Now she was speaking like a PR executive, distancing herself from a liability. Meghan tried again, sending a lengthy message the next day with glowing words about sisterhood, redemption, and reconnection. But the reply came short and cold. "It's not the right time, Meg. Word traveled fast." Not officially, of course. No Instagram posts, no public statements, but in celebrity circles, silence speaks volumes. And when Serena confirmed her attendance at the retreat without Meghan, people noticed. Amal Clooney had already RSVP'd weeks ago. Priyanka Chopra had cleared her schedule. Even Tracy Ellis Ross was reportedly penciled in, but Meghan Markle nowhere in sight. Fans on Twitter began speculating immediately. Some defended her, blaming media bias or royal family sabotage. But others were less kind, suggesting that Meghan's social currency had finally run dry. Back at home, Meghan spiraled. Insiders say she spent days pacing around her Montecito estate, furiously texting old contacts, trying to schedule meetings with agents, producers, anyone who could help change the narrative. She was devastated, one anonymous source claimed. She felt abandoned. She really thought Serena would come through for her. But Serena didn't, and that silence hurt more than Meghan expected. What made things worse was the emerging rumor that Thynn had specifically requested Meghan not be invited. According to one source, Emma had said, "We need peace, not headlines." The implication was brutal. Meghan brought drama, not harmony. This was a retreat for renewal and bonding, not paparazzi and public image. Meghan, sensing the walls closing in, did what she often does. She turned to Harry. Prince Harry, already frustrated with the lack of progress in their own ventures, reportedly advised Meghan to let it go. But Meghan wouldn't. She felt betrayed, not just by Emma, but by Serena, by the people she believed would stand by her, regardless of public perception. "After everything I've done for her," she reportedly snapped, "she just shuts me out like I'm toxic." The word echoed through the marble walls of their mansion. Toxic, the very label Meghan had fought so hard to shed. That night, she did something rare. She cried in front of staff. One housekeeper who spoke anonymously said she sat by the window and just stared at her phone. She kept refreshing Instagram, looking at Serena's stories. Watching the comments roll in, she looked lost. And just when things couldn't get more embarrassing, Serena posted a serene photo from a yacht, sunglasses on, champagne in hand, Thynn beside her, laughing. No caption, just a location tag, Amalfi. It was the ultimate statement. Quiet, elegant, final, Meghan was out. Not just from a vacation, but from the inner circle she had worked so hard to be part of. And the pain wasn't just professional, it was personal. Because for Meghan, Serena wasn't just a friend. She was a symbol, a bridge between worlds. And now that bridge had collapsed publicly. As the retreat began and photos leaked of sunset dinners, yoga on cliffs, and intimate bonding moments between some of the world's most influential women, Meghan retreated further into isolation. She canceled to upcoming public appearances, she postponed a podcast taping, and in a moment of deep vulnerability, she reportedly told Harry, "Maybe I'm not welcome anywhere anymore." But Meghan wasn't ready to give up just yet, because just when everyone thought she would disappear into silence, she made a bold move that would reignite the fire and set off a chain of events no one saw coming. Meghan's silence didn't last long by the third day of the retreat. After every glossy image from Emma Thynn's girls' getaway was splashed across tabloids and Instagram stories, Meghan Markle re-emerged, but not in person. No, her return came with a sudden leak, an anonymous friend close to the Duchess, speaking to a mid-tier outlet, painting a very different picture of what had gone down behind the scenes. The headline, "Meghan was never interested in Emma Thynn's retreat, she declined the invite herself." The article was short, calculated, and surprisingly sharp. It subtly cast Emma's gathering as elitist and superficial, and insinuated that Meghan was focusing on bigger global issues and protecting her family's peace rather than indulging in lavish photo ops. To the untrained eye, it was Meghan reclaiming her narrative. But to insiders and the illicit elite, the subtext was obvious. Meghan was lashing out. And fast, but the damage was already done. Because that same morning, a second leak dropped, this time from someone within Emma Thynn's circle. It was a bombshell: screenshots, alleged texts, a timeline of events that contradicted Meghan's version entirely. One message showed Meghan asking Serena directly, "Please talk to Emma. I know there's tension, but I just want to make this right. You know how much this trip means to me." Another, more painful, had Serena replying, "Meg, I love you, but I don't think this is your space anymore." That sentence alone sent the internet into meltdown. Fans of Meghan, Serena, and Emma were suddenly divided in full-blown stan wars, dissecting every word, every emoji, every Instagram like. The fallout didn't stop there. Serena, typically private, posted a cryptic tweet the next evening. Growth means knowing when to say "not this time." No names were mentioned, but it didn't matter. Everyone knew. The betrayal felt intimate, and Meghan's fan base, already shaken, erupted in both rage and sympathy. "Why would Serena do this to her publicly?" one user commented. Another snapped back, "Maybe Serena's tired of the drama too." Even Meghan's supporters had to admit it was starting to look like her inner circle was shrinking fast. Meanwhile, back in London, the British press had a field day. They framed the entire incident as another example of Meghan's fall from grace. Shunned by Serena, snubbed by the elite, is Meghan Markle now Hollywood's most unwelcome guest? Screamed one headline. Royal commentators took the opportunity to pile on, with one former palace insider stating, "This is exactly the behavior that made her so difficult within the firm, trying to insert herself into spaces where she's not wanted and playing the victim when things don't go her way." And then came the most shocking twist yet: Kate Middleton. Yes, that Kate, the Princess of Wales, who had remained silent since Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview, who hadn't uttered Meghan's name in public for over 2 years, suddenly found herself pulled into the whirlwind indirectly. It started with an Instagram post from Thynn, a simple photo of her holding a cup of tea in a private London garden, with none other than Kate Middleton herself seated beside her. The caption, "Strong women, soft hearts, shared grace." 4 words, no tags, no mention of Meghan. But the message, loud and clear. The photo went viral within an hour. Wait, Kate and Emma are friends now. This is a coordinated move against Meghan. She's being iced out of every circle. The fans were in a frenzy. Some saw it as an act of solidarity. Others saw it as an elegant, calculated strike from a future queen who had had enough of being painted the villain. One comment summed it up best: "Kate doesn't need to speak. Her presence is the statement." Back in Montecito, Meghan's reaction to the Kate Emma photo was explosive. According to insiders, she was livid. She thinks this was orchestrated. One friend revealed she feels like people are ganging up on her, using subtle digs and coordinated appearances to destroy her credibility. That same night, Meghan reportedly called Serena again, but this time, Serena didn't pick up. Meghan left a voice message. "This isn't just about me. You know that. They're trying to erase me. I never thought you'd be part of that." The message went unanswered. Harry, seeing his wife spiraling, attempted to comfort her, but insiders say tensions between them were also flaring. He wants to protect her, one source explained, but he's also exhausted. He warned her not to push Serena, not to get involved in Emma's event. Now it's all blowing up. Meghan, however, refused to back down. She began quietly assembling a team PR specialists, crisis managers, a few trusted Hollywood contacts. Her plan, a new series of interviews and a documentary focusing on female friendship, betrayal, and the truth behind the headlines. One of her former publicists allegedly warned her against it. Let it breathe. Let people forget. They advised, but Meghan wouldn't listen. "This is about more than one trip," she reportedly said. "This is about women turning on each other. And people need to know what really happened." But while Meghan plotted her comeback, another problem surfaced. Oprah. Yes, Oprah Winfrey, the media titan and one of Meghan's earliest public defenders, had also been invited to Emma Thynn's retreat. She didn't go, but she didn't publicly decline either. In fact, photos emerged of Oprah having dinner in London the week before with Emma Thynn and Amal Clooney. The silence from Oprah spoke volumes. If Oprah's distancing herself, one Hollywood insider said, then Meghan's really in trouble. To make matters worse, insiders from Serena's camp began leaking again, this time with a new narrative, one that claimed Serena had tried for years to protect Meghan from herself, but ultimately couldn't keep cleaning up the messes. One message even claimed that Serena had told a friend, "I love her, but she's addicted to drama. And I can't be the fixer anymore." It was a brutal blow. Not just to Meghan's image, but to her identity. For years, she'd clung to her friendship with Serena as proof that she belonged not to royalty, but to something bigger. A global sisterhood, a symbol of resilience. And now that sisterhood had closed its doors, and yet Meghan wasn't finished. As the retreat ended and Emma, Serena, Amal, and others returned home, Meghan launched the first teaser for her new project. It wasn't flashy. It was a black screen with white text. "They told me I didn't belong. They tried to erase me. But here's the truth they didn't want you to see." Coming soon, the internet exploded. Supporters praised her bravery. Critics rolled their eyes. But one thing was clear: Meghan was going to fight her way back into the spotlight, even if she had to do it alone. And just when everyone thought the drama had reached its peak, another secret tape leaked. And this time, it wasn't about Meghan at all. It was about Serena, and what it revealed would flip the narrative once again, sending shockwaves through Hollywood and dragging every woman involved into an even deeper scandal. The tape was never meant to be heard by the public. In fact, it wasn't even a traditional leak. It was captured by a background mic during an off-camera moment at a private women's empowerment panel in Rome weeks before the Emma Thynn retreat even happened. Somehow no one knows how it surfaced on a small, gossip-heavy podcast and was picked up by a Twitter account known for leaking celebrity audio. And once it hit the internet, there was no stopping it. The voice on the tape, unmistakably Serena Williams. Calm, tired, and speaking with someone off record, her words cut deeper than any Instagram unfollow. "I love Meghan," she said, "but every time I try to help her, it turns into a circus. She's not interested in friendship. She's interested in optics." Optics, that word lit the internet on fire. Within minutes, hashtag Serena exposes Meghan was trending globally, and fans, they were torn. Some defended Serena, saying she was finally freeing herself from a manipulative relationship. Others accused her of betrayal. "You don't throw your friends under the bus," one fan tweeted angrily. But many agreed the damage was done. This wasn't just Serena distancing herself from Meghan. This was Serena disavowing her. And what stung even more, that conversation, according to insiders, happened before Meghan had even pleaded for help to join the Emma retreat. Which meant Serena had already made up her mind long before Meghan dialed her crying at 1 a.m. long before. She crafted heartfelt texts about sisterhood long before she put her pride on the line. To Meghan, this wasn't just a betrayal. It was a calculated, premeditated rejection. In Montecito, chaos erupted. Meghan's team was scrambling to contain the narrative. Her crisis manager allegedly held a series of emergency meetings trying to pivot public attention. But it was no use. The words had come straight from Serena's mouth. There was no twisting it. Meghan was heartbroken, yes, but she was also furious. Furious that the friend she defended through thick and thin had now become the very person undermining her most publicly. "You could have just said no," Meghan reportedly told a friend. "You didn't have to humiliate me," but humiliation wasn't done with Meghan yet. Because days later, Thynn gave her first ever public statement on the controversy. Appearing on a BBC podcast about women in leadership, the Marchioness was asked carefully about the rumors of division and exclusion. Her response was, "Measured but icy. I believe in creating safe spaces for women to thrive. And sometimes that means being selective about energy. I won't apologize for protecting peace." Fans knew exactly what she meant. The phrase "selective about energy" quickly became the new social media burn of the week. Merch shops began printing it on mugs and t-shirts. TikTok creators made parody videos using the line, mocking Meghan's constant attempts to insert herself into elite circles. One viral sketch showed an actress pretending to be Meghan, crashing a girl's trip by helicopter, only to be politely but firmly escorted back to sea. The worst part, Meghan's Hollywood contacts were staying silent. Priyanka Chopra didn't comment. Amal Clooney said nothing. Even Ellen DeGeneres, once a close neighbor and public supporter, avoided any mention. Meghan, who once dazzled at A-list tables, now found herself sitting alone. Harry, meanwhile, was caught in the crossfire. Paparazzi captured him looking visibly tense during a solo gem visit in Montecito. Reports soon surfaced that he had cancelled his trip to the UK for an Invictus planning meeting. "He's exhausted," a royal source explained. "Every time they take one step forward, something like this pulls them 5 steps back." And then came the cruelest twist of fate yet. Meghan's own podcast deal, a potential lifeline in the middle of her freefall, was suspended. Spotify had already backed out. Now, a second platform reportedly put talks on pause pending reputational concerns. The reason? High risk of controversy. Meghan had gone from marketable underdog to unpredictable liability. Desperate to regain control, Meghan reached out to Oprah again, this time for a sit-down, one-on-one interview to tell her side. But Oprah gently declined. According to one leak, Oprah's team responded, "Now is not the right time." The rejection hit like a freight train. Oprah was supposed to be the safety net, the final friend who always showed up, the one who made space for Meghan's truth when no one else would. Now even she had turned away. In a final act of desperation, Meghan tried to reach out to Emma directly. Yes, despite all that had happened, despite the snubs, the gossip, the public slaps, Meghan still believed that if she could just talk to Emma, she could explain. She could make her understand. She could fix it. So she sent a message through a mutual contact, asking for a brief call. Emma's response, a single, perfect sentence. "Some doors close for a reason." The final nail. The quote went viral. Within minutes, screenshotted, shared, laughed at. "Some doors close for a reason" became the internet's new breakup anthem. Meghan, for all her intentions, was now viewed not as a misunderstood royal or a brave truth teller, but as a woman desperate to stay relevant in a room that had moved on. And still, amidst the ruin, Meghan refused to back down. She pushed forward with her new docu-series project, now retitled Erased: The Cost of Speaking Up, The teaser dropped on YouTube and Instagram within 48 hours. It featured shadowed imagery, a melancholy piano score, and Meghan's voice, soft but steely. They said I was too much, that I didn't belong, that I made people uncomfortable. But if telling my truth makes people uncomfortable, maybe they need to ask themselves why. The internet exploded once again. This time, however, the response was more divided than ever. Some called it brave, others called it tone-deaf. One prominent journalist tweeted, "If this is the cost of speaking up, maybe the message needs changing." But one thing was certain, Meghan was no longer waiting for a seat at anyone's table. She was building her own. Even if no one else came, Meghan's bold teaser for Erased, the cost of speaking up didn't just send social media into a tailspin, it reignited the fire she had been fanning for years. Within hours of the trailer going live, hashtags flooded Twitter. Hashtag we stand with Meghan. Hashtag let Meghan speak. And hashtag mean girl retreat began trending side by side. The comments ranged from empowering solidarity to outright mockery. Some fans hailed her as a warrior rising from betrayal, while others accused her of weaponizing victimhood once again. But behind the scenes, Meghan wasn't basking in the attention. She was pacing, planning, perfecting every frame, every line, every shadow that would reclaim her image in the court of public opinion. If she couldn't set with Emma Thynn and Serena Williams, she'd make sure the world knew why she was being kept out and force everyone to take a side. The docuseries trailer ended with a close-up of Meghan's hand gripping a pen and the words, "When they silence you, speak louder." That final moment was enough to spark another round of backlash and a new wave of sympathy. Serena, watching the growing storm from her quiet Florida home, reportedly told a friend, "She's twisting it again. I said no once, and suddenly I'm the villain in a documentary." But others in her circle warned her not to respond. Let it pass. One advisor said, "Anything you say now will just pour gasoline on it." Serena, torn between defending herself and staying silent, chose the latter. But her silence didn't protect her for long. Because Meghan's first episode leaked just 2 days before its official premiere was explosive. In it, Meghan shared never-before-heard audio messages, blurred out screenshots of which she claimed were Serena's dismissive texts, and a tearful confessional about how she'd lost her sisterhood. She never mentioned Emma Thynn by name, but the implication was clear. There was a retreat, she said slowly, her voice breaking. A space where women supported each other. I wasn't just excluded, I was erased. The episode, though clearly crafted for maximum emotional impact, sent shockwaves through Hollywood. It wasn't just a public airing of dirty laundry, it was Meghan detonating every bridge she had left. Within hours, Amal Clooney's publicist released a quiet but pointed statement. Mrs. Clooney has not participated in, nor intends to comment on, any recent narratives circulating in entertainment media. It was diplomatic, but to insiders, it was war. The dominoes fell fast. Meghan's manager quit, citing creative differences. A streaming platform that had previously expressed interest in her production deal backed out entirely. And Harry, already juggling a strained relationship with his family, was now being dragged into headlines once again, this time for reportedly pleading with Meghan to pause the series rollout. He told her it's not worth it. One insider claimed, he said, "They've already decided who you are. This won't change it," but she wouldn't listen. Meanwhile, Emma Thynn, always poised and above the fray, responded with a single Instagram story, a photo of her garden, a book on her lap, and a quote from Maya Angelou. "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." The timing wasn't lost on anyone. It was a silent dagger, and Meghan felt every inch of it. But the real turning point came days later when a former staffer from Meghan's royal household stepped forward anonymously at first, then publicly accusing her of manipulating friendships for optics and weaponizing sisterhood for attention. Their interview on a late-night news segment went viral, with the former aide saying she knows how to cry on cue. But behind the scenes, it was all strategy. Meghan's Defenders rushed to her side. Public figures like Chrissy Teigen and Mindy Kaling tweeted support. We've seen this before. Strong women get torn apart when they speak up. But others were less sympathetic. Meghan Kelly slammed the series as emotional blackmail, while Piers Morgan labeled it Hollywood narcissism on steroids. Even Harry, who had stood beside Meghan through every controversy, seemed to be reaching a breaking point. Paparazzi caught him alone in Santa Barbara, visibly stressed, checking his phone repeatedly. Sources claimed he was trying to schedule a private meeting with Prince William, perhaps as a last-ditch effort to reconnect before everything spiraled further. Meanwhile, the second episode of Erased dropped-handed was even more damning than the first. This one featured a voice actor recreating a conversation allegedly based on Serena's rejection. Meghan narrated the scene, describing the pain of hearing "I don't think this is your space anymore" from someone she called family. She didn't just say no. Meghan said, voice trembling. She shut the door. And when I looked through the window, I saw her laughing with the people who locked me out. It was a poetic line. It trended immediately, but it also prompted Serena's camp to respond finally. Through a close friend, Serena issued a statement. I've always supported Meghan, but I have to protect my peace too. When friendships become performances, you have to step away. The phrase friendships become performances exploded across media outlets. It was a dignified mic drop, and Meghan, she was shattered. According to staff, Meghan locked herself in her home studio for 48 hours after reading Serena's words. She cried, then she screamed, then she went quiet. Harry tried to intervene, but insiders say their relationship had grown tense. He loves her, but he's scared, not of her, of what she's becoming. He doesn't recognize her in this fight. And yet, Meghan refused to back down. She'd committed to the series, and if the world wasn't going to open doors for her, she'd kick them down. She posted another teaser, this one featuring images of young girls, broken tiaras, headlines about betrayal, and her voice asking, if they can cancel me, what does that mean for you? But public fatigue was setting in. Ratings for the third episode dropped, comments turned more critical. And then, as if on cue, another twist. Thynn announced her own documentary. Titled Grace in Silence, Emma's project promised to showcase the strength of quiet leadership and the power of choosing dignity over drama. No names were mentioned, no scandals referenced. But everyone knew it was the anti-Meghan story. The trailer was pure elegance, soft lighting. Real stories of women supporting each other. A subtle voiceover from Emma, we rise by lifting each other. But sometimes, letting go is the most loving thing we can do. It was a dagger cloaked in grace, and it worked. Suddenly, the tide turned. Meghan's series, once trending at the top of every chart, began falling off. Major networks stopped covering her episodes. Fan engagement dipped. Even the tabloids were shifting their focus, now more interested in what Emma, Serena, and Amal were doing than what Meghan had to say next. Meghan had gone from royal rebel to Hollywood darling to public cautionary tale. And as her final episode aired, featuring a quiet monologue, a dim room, and a single burning candle, she whispered, I never asked to be erased. I just wanted to belong. The screen faded to black. But the world had already moved on. And just like that, the curtain falls on one of the most shocking chapters in Meghan Markle's Hollywood journey. What began as a plea for inclusion ended in global rejection, betrayal, and a media firestorm that no PR team could contain. Serena Williams, once her closest confidant, walked away in silence. Emma Thynn, with grace and restraint, shut the door without uttering a single cruel word. And Meghan, she was left standing in the middle of the storm she thought she could control, now more isolated than ever. Fans are still reeling. Some believe Meghan was wronged, frozen out by a jealous elite threatened by her rising voice. Others argue that she created the chaos herself, unable to tell the difference between friendship and strategy. And then there are those who ask the hardest question of all, Did Meghan lose her tribe, or was she never truly part of it? Whatever side you're on, one thing is clear: this drama isn't over. The wounds are fresh. The silence from once loyal friends is deafening. And Meghan's next move could either redeem her in the eyes of millions or bury her deeper in controversy than ever before. But now, it's your turn to speak. Do you think Serena was right to walk away? Was Emma Thynn protecting her peace or being a mean girl in disguise? And is Meghan truly a victim of betrayal? Or is she playing the same game she claims to hate? Let us know in the comments below, because this story isn't just about them. It's about all of us who've ever felt left out, shut down, or erased. Don't forget to hit that like button if this drama had you glued to your seat. Subscribe for more shocking updates and wild twists from your favorite reality stars and celebrity royalty. And remember, in the world of fame, loyalty is rare, but betrayal, that always makes headlines.